Liverpool facing fresh Luis Diaz transfer offer from Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is set to return with a fresh bid for Liverpool winger Luis Diaz as it seeks to test the Reds' resolve over the Colombian winger during the summer transfer window. Liverpool is bracing itself for a renewed bid from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz, with the Bundesliga outfit poised to challenge the Reds' determination to keep hold of the Colombian winger. Despite having an initial offer of €67.5 million, $78.6 million, promptly turned down last week, Bayern's interest in Diaz remains strong. Hugo Ekitike, meanwhile, is on the verge of joining the Reds after a deal was agreed with Eintracht Frankfurt and the player. A move for Alexander Isak is also not off the table yet, as the Swedish striker was left out of Newcastle's squad for a pre-season friendly on Saturday due to the speculation surrounding his future. The Reds have already added Jeremy Frimpong, Armin Pexi, Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, Georgi Mamardashvili, and Freddie Woodman to their squad this summer. Earlier this window, Liverpool rebuffed an approach from Barcelona for Diaz and maintains that the player continues to be a crucial part of Arne Slot's roster. He played a pivotal role in the Premier League title victory last season. However, questions have been raised about Diaz's long-term future at Anfield, as the 28-year-old enters the final 2 years of his contract and talks over a new deal have yet to advance. Last month, the forward disclosed that while discussions with Liverpool are ongoing, his agents have been contacted by several potential suitors, and subsequent conversations have occurred. Bayern is now preparing to come back with a better offer in a bid to shake Liverpool's resolve over Diaz. The Reds will not consider any sale during this transfer window unless they receive an offer that would be impossible to refuse. It has been suggested that, should Bayern fail in its imminent latest attempt to sign Diaz, it will turn its attention to Lyons' Malik Fofana. The Belgian winger has also previously attracted interest from the Saudi Pro League. Barcelona is also considering coming back with a heftier offer for Diaz, although the Spanish team's interest has cooled in recent weeks, with Marcus Rashford joining the roster. Bayern has already signed one Liverpool forward in recent times, bringing in Sadio Mane from the Reds in 2022. Darwin Nunez just sent big message to Arne Slot as Liverpool future still in doubt. Darwin Nunez has been on fire for Liverpool in pre-season so far, and he's certainly sending a message to Arne Slot as speculation continues over his future. Say what you want about Darwin Nunez, but you can't take your eyes off him. Even when his time at Liverpool seems to be over, he's still giving Arne Slot plenty to think about. The striker has looked destined for an exit from Anfield this summer, with his 3 years on Merseyside not going to plan, especially last season when he could only muster 7 goals in 47 appearances. And with Hugo Ekitike seemingly now on his way to Liverpool, it's looking increasingly likely that Nunez's future will lie away from Anfield. Although he is making a compelling case for Slot, give him another chance. Ahead of jetting off for their tour of Asia, the Reds have been in action again in a behind-closed-doors game against Championship side Stoke City at the AXA Training Centre. The hosts showed little mercy to their visitors as they raced into a 4-0 lead at halftime, with Nunez in particular on fire. The Uruguayan scored a hat-trick during the opening 45 minutes, doing himself plenty of favors as a decision awaits over his future. A move to Napoli, which had been touted for much of the summer, now looks to be off the table, although there are other options for him, with interest from Saudi Arabia once again emerging. But with 4 goals now from his 2 appearances in pre-season, Slot may well be tempted to keep taking a look at him over the coming weeks, with games against AC Milan and Yokohama F. Marinos before the end of the month potentially providing more opportunities. Nunez has certainly made what looked to be a foregone conclusion over his future a little more complicated now. Having fallen out of favor with Slot at the end of last season, he does seem to be doing all he can to get himself back in the Liverpool boss plans. If he is destined to leave Anfield, though, his goals this summer will nevertheless please the Reds' chiefs, who might be able to get just a bit more money out of a transfer. Also on the score sheet in the first half against Stoke was Rio Ngumaha, whose reputation continues to grow after he impressed in the opening friendly against Preston. The 16-year-old, who looks set to sign a professional contract when he turns 17 next month, will likely get more first-team opportunities during the summer to impress Slot. Florian Wirtz also made his first appearance for the Reds in the game, having missed the opening friendly last week. Fans may get their first glimpse of him in action next weekend, with Liverpool facing Milan in Hong Kong on July 26. Arne Slot has already been sent a warning about Hugo Ekitike. Some didn't like him. As Hugo Ekitike edges closer to joining Liverpool, Arne Slot has already been cautioned about the young French striker, with the Dutchman warned to tread carefully. As Hugo Ekitike edges closer to completing a high-profile move to Liverpool, Arne Slot has been issued a quiet warning about the French striker's past. Ekitike is on the verge of becoming Liverpool's latest marquee signing, in a deal worth up to $111 million including add-ons. The former Paris Saint-Germain forward is set to sign a 6-year contract until 2031 following a scheduled medical after Liverpool and Eintracht Frankfurt reportedly reached an agreement. As Slot continues reshaping his squad ahead of the 2025-26 campaign. However, despite Ekitike's standout performances last season, questions have been raised surrounding the 23-year-old's character away from the pitch. Oscar Garcia, who previously coached the 23-year-old at Stade Reims, has offered insight into what Liverpool can expect from their new signing, along with some advice on how best to manage him. Speaking to Sky Sports, Garcia described Ekitike as a naturally confident and ambitious player, traits he has consistently displayed throughout his development. He always was a talented player, but some coaches did not like him because of his profile and sometimes because of his character, said Garcia. They were thinking he was a little bit arrogant. He always wanted to be compared with the best ones. During his time at Reims, Ekitike was initially challenged to match the standards of 2 unnamed League One forwards, but it wasn't long before he set his sights on reaching the level of Kylian Mbappé. In terms of Ekitike's traits, Garcia added, "He is not a kind of a striker who will be always into the box waiting for a cross. He is very mobile and very difficult to mark. He can fit with teams that play more counterattack, but also with teams with more possession, because he has the skill for both styles. You do not find many strikers like him at his age. He is tall, fast, mobile, very good 1-against-1, holds the ball and scores goals." However, Garcia emphasized that Ekitike will require personalized coaching to reach his full potential, noting that a tailored approach is key to unlocking the next stage of his development. He said, "All players can improve. He knows which aspects he can improve on, but he also needs help to develop his potential to reach the level that all the people who know him believe he can reach. Individual work with him will be fundamental for his development." Slot will now face the task of ensuring Ekitike not only delivers on the pitch, but integrates smoothly into a group already stacked with attacking options. Still, there's little doubt about Ekitike's potential. Hugo Ekitike's shirt number options at Liverpool as $111 million deal agreed. As Liverpool edges closer to landing Hugo Ekitike in a $111 million deal, attention now turns to which shirt number the rising French striker could soon claim at Anfield. Liverpool is on the verge of completing a sensational $111 million deal to sign French forward Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt. Personal terms were settled shortly after Liverpool's initial approach, and discussions have since progressed rapidly. According to Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg and multiple other sources, a breakthrough was achieved, paving the way for the final steps of the deal. Ekitike is now expected to undergo a medical in the coming days before signing a long-term contract that will keep him at Anfield until 2031. The French striker is set to become Arne Slot's latest high-profile addition, with Liverpool having already spent over $228 million this summer on reinforcements including Georgi Mamardashvili, Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, and Jeremy Frimpong. Ekitike's arrival would further bolster Slot's attacking options as the Reds prepare for the new Premier League campaign. Ekitike, who enjoyed a standout campaign in the Bundesliga last season with 22 goals and 12 assists, is expected to become another of Slot's marquee signings of the summer as the Reds look to strengthen their attacking options. With Darwin Nunez likely to depart and Luis Diaz still linked with a move to Bayern Munich, Ekitike is seen as a key piece in Slot's revamped frontline. As the deal edges closer to completion, speculation has turned to what squad number Ekitike might wear in his debut season. Several numbers are currently up for grabs or could become available in the coming weeks as the club reshuffles its roster ahead of the new campaign. Currently, the 23-year-old plays with the number 11 at Frankfurt, but that number is unavailable on Merseyside and is occupied by Mohamed Salah. There is a chance that he could inherit the number 9 shirt should Nunez depart. Here's a look at the current squad numbers that are vacant. Number 12. The number 12 shirt at Liverpool has been vacant since 2022, when Joe Gomez switched to the number 2 after wearing it for 7 years. Historically, the number has been worn by several club legends, including Sami Hyypiä, Robbie Fowler, Ronnie Whalen, and Ian Rush. Kerkez could be in line to take this number, but it does hold a lot of prestige within the attacking department. Number 15. The number 15 shirt was last worn by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who arrived from Arsenal with high expectations. While he enjoyed flashes of brilliance at Liverpool, his time at the club was ultimately hampered by a string of injuries that disrupted his momentum. The shirt has remained vacant since his departure. Number 23. With Diaz now wearing the iconic number 7 shirt, the number 23 has been left unclaimed. Previously a fan-favorite number due to its association with Jamie Carragher, it's one that carries weight at Anfield. Other available squad numbers worth noting are 6, 16, 22, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. The number 30 could be inherited by Frimpong, who wore that number at Bayer Leverkusen. Florian Wirtz debuts, and Darwin Nunez scores hat-trick in Liverpool friendly win. Florian Wirtz made his first non-competitive start for Liverpool as the Reds beat Stoke City 5-0 in a behind-closed-doors friendly on Sunday. Wirtz started for the Reds in a midfield role, alongside Curtis Jones and highly rated teenager Trey Nyoni. Georgi Mamardashvili was in goal, with Alisson one of 3 first-team players not involved, the others being Luis Diaz and Alexis Mac Allister. Up front, Darwin Nunez started and bagged a first-half, poacher-style hat-trick inside the first 20 minutes, with 16-year-old Rio Ngumaha also netting a deflected shot midway through the first half. Mo Salah completed the attack. Dominic Szoboszlai surprisingly lined up at right-back in the opening 11, with Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Andy Robertson making the rest of the back 4. First half 11. Mamardashvili, Szoboszlai, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Nyoni, Jones, Wirtz, Salah, Nunez, Ngumaha. Second half 11. Mamardashvili, Pexi 59-foot, Bradley, Konate, Tsimikas, Kerkez, Gravenberch, Endo, Gakpo, Frimpong, Chiesa, Doak, Stevenson 74. Other subs: Messier, Pilling. Goals: Nunez 3, Ngumaha, Chiesa. After the halftime changes, Ben Doak hit the post following a saved effort from Federico Chiesa, who was accompanied by Jeremy Frimpong in attack. Chiesa scored Liverpool's 5th, 2 minutes from time, when Frimpong crossed to Gakpo at the back post, with the winger having the presence of mind to square to Chiesa for an easy finish. Cody Gakpo, meanwhile, occupied the number 10 role once he replaced Wirtz, and Kostas Tsimikas' minutes arrived at centre-back, alongside Ibrahima Konate. It is important to remember that preseason is predominantly about getting minutes and experimenting, and not too much should be read into where players played. Among the subs were academy goalkeeper Cornel Messier and midfielder Tommy Pilling, along with Lucas Stevenson, who played in the U21's 8-0 thrashing of Celtic on Saturday. Arne Slot and his players now fly to Hong Kong on Sunday evening, where the highest tropical cyclone warning has been issued, closing schools and grounding hundreds of flights on Sunday. Liverpool are due to arrive in Hong Kong on Monday, ahead of a friendly against AC Milan next Saturday. From there, they head to Japan to face Yokohama FM on July 30th, before returning home to face Athletic Club in 2 friendlies at Anfield on August 4th. Then comes the Community Shield against FA Cup winners Crystal Palace on August 10th, prior to the start of the Premier League season at home to Bournemouth on August 15th. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.